Hi, welcome to an episode of Training Talk. Today we're going to have a quick chat about campusing and when to start campusing.
Now, a campus board is obviously a very popular tool and one that you'll see in most gyms wherever you go in the world. And we get a lot of questions from clients who are wondering about what kind of training protocols to use on a campus board, but also most importantly, when to start using them in their training habits.
So first of all, the campus board is best for developing strength and power, particularly in the fingers and the upper body, looking at pulling movement, contact strength and finger strength. There's a couple of examples of workouts on the Crimped app, which is free, that you can download.
So when you're looking at your campusing exercise and you're trying to develop some kind of strength and power, it's really important that you have a baseline level of strength which is appropriate to work on a campus board. And I'd say a few key markers that you'd want to look at, so exercises you could try to see whether you're starting to become appropriate for a campus board, is one, can you complete a number of pull-ups on a big juggy hold or a bar in multiple repetitions, so not just one pull-up. Two is, can you complete a pull-up on a small edge at body weight? So can you pull your whole body weight up on a single joint edge? Next is that, can you campus up a large, juggy route at the gym on overhanging terrain? So something that's a campus but is not limited by finger strength. Once you start to have the capacity where you can combine all three of those and you're at the level where all of those are possible for you and not either uncomfortable or beyond your current limit, this is the kind of stage where you can start to look at some kind of campus work.
If you're not sure whether you're quite ready for using a campus board, and particularly using that specific bit of equipment, a really good exercise that we like doing, even at an elite standard, is to be campusing boulders, because you can start using, like Tom said, nice juggy holds, and then you can slowly work down to still very comfortable holds, but they get a little bit smaller, closer to that size found on a campus board. It gives a realistic climbing movement and you still get the same sort of stimulus, but you're not just using the same edge over and over, which can often be one of the things that leads to injuries later on.
One of the very popular questions that we'll get asked is about juniors working on campus boards. And as a policy, we have the vast majority of our under 18s not completing any kind of campus board exercise.
We felt over the years of practice and looking at all the guidelines that for junior athletes to be unsupervised using a campus board is just too risky because of the repetition and the high intensity of the exercise. If the junior is being very supervised and is in strict control, we do feel that the exercise is sometimes appropriate. However, this is in very specialist cases and it's something that me and Tom don't take very lightly.
So last topic in terms of general areas that we want to look at on a campus board is what kind of protocols would you use, so methods of training on a campus board, and when would these be appropriate? And in our experience as coaches is that you want to start using a tool that has a higher level of risk associated with it and works at a higher intensity, is you want to work strength training methods initially before explosive power methods. So this may be some slightly slower locks, offset pull-ups, and 1 to 2 movements on the campus board in control before moving on to anything which involves long dynamic throws or plyometrics on a campus board.
As you start to become more and more experienced and stronger and more powerful, you can obviously start to build up the difficulty of each movement and each session, all the way up until the point where you're absolutely doing maximum moves. At this point, we often find that people are asking us, how do I take the next step on the campus board? I can consistently do 1-4-6.5 is the example, but I can't quite make 1-4-7, even on the smallest rung. In this case, we'll often say to add a little bit of weight on a nice safe hold for the very experienced climber, so that you're getting that extra stimulus and then reducing the weight again so that you can suddenly make the new distance. But just remember, this is at the really high end, and you should only be doing this if other aspects of your climbing have already been addressed.
So hopefully that answers some of your most kind of pressing questions around campusing and what is appropriate to do in those sessions and when you should be starting it. And it is a really kind of big topic area. There's a lot of questions around it, but the next stage in which to kind of explore that area was drop some questions into our Facebook community group. There's loads of people in there that've got lots of experience, coaches, high-level climbers, and I'm sure they'll be able to help you out even further.
And just remember, because you can do 159 doesn't mean you can climb very hard.
That is true. Thanks very much for listening today. And don't forget that if you've enjoyed the video, click to like and subscribe, and we will see you again here soon.